Okay, so tonight we have a couple of things that we need to finalize. And I have to tell you that last part of the meeting when I thought we were almost done, where you were talking about some of the contacts you had, especially in film, I am thinking that the best, most really practical and yet interesting thing that we can do this year is do that film festival and at each filming also have an exhibit about that particular heritage or country. So for instance, Swan, if we do a Korean film, we
Hmm.
would set up a table and introduce people to things about Korean culture.
Yeah.
Um, the I'm trying to remember her name, the young lady that was here, Erin Manzi, if we did a Philippine, she could help us set up, a Philippine exhibit. And there's a lot of different possible venues that we can have this. And I did check the AmeriCall and all of its and the different things going on in town. And those weekend dates are free. But I'm thinking maybe we want to do this on a weeknight and have it possibly if we can. There's a way to simulcast it so people who can't get to the actual venue can still watch the movie.
Hmm.
And the way you do that, because there she is. Okay. Jill. Jill DeMont is one of the commissioners. I want to introduce you to my team of amazing parents who have been working on this event for the last few years. And you can see all of their names. And they have different backgrounds and they have been just the most terrific volunteers. So, and Jill is 1 year into her term as a commissioner. She's just started out and she's arranged
Hi,
some
Joe.
things. I was just explaining that it's possible if we had a film festival, we could possibly have the films simulcast over Zoom at the same time if we show them in the theater, the viewing room at WCAT. I don't know if you've ever been in there. Have any of you ever been in WCAT studios? I was there with my husband, thanking them and giving some things back after the last meeting. And my husband, who's a photographer, wanted to see the studios. And they have a big studio in the back with a big screen TV, like a 60-inch screen. Whereas if we show movies in the library or in AmeriCall, we're going to end up having a TV set.
Mm.
So if,
We wouldn't
and
just do a projector, right? Bring in like a projector and like the white space and then project it from your.
but they're all DVDs. It's more than likely they're going to be DVDs or things that we have to stream if they're not readily available on DVDs. But the thing with the library is they're tied into the whole Noble network.
Hmm.
So all the libraries in that network are a source of getting films. So if we don't have it, if there's something we're interested in and we don't have it, um, they can get it from Malden, they can get it from Linfield, they can get it from Reading. Um, and it would be so what I wanted to do was check with Ian because he said he felt badly. He said, I wish more people had their meetings in our studio and find out if actually they can do that kind of simulcast, show the film. And like I said, we'll have an exhibit for those who come live and we'll have someone and in fact, we can show that because they have cameras in the room. We can have the person who has set up the exhibit talk about what is on the exhibit about that particular heritage or culture. So we do both. We entertain people and we educate. And it will be much easier to set up because getting the films, I think, would be much easier than trying to coordinate whole groups of entertainment and trying to get them scheduled into a particular date. Um, and I'm thinking the least busy night of the week in Wakefield tends to be Mondays.
I was thinking like Thursdays, because Thursdays are also like the movie night that, series that Wakefield does. Because people are used to Thursdays. It leads into the summer months, right? And
Oh,
they're
you're
used,
talking about, okay, you're talking about when they do them on the at the gazebo.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could mix it up. We can have a couple of them Mondays, a couple of them Thursdays. Um, when we talked the last time, I was thinking, we want to definitely have something that is particularly family friendly, like maybe an anime from Japan.
Yeah.
And if need be, I can go back to the embassy and they'll lend me stuff again. Unless we have somebody, I would hope that maybe there's, I don't know, but if there's someone in the community who's Japanese who might be or have Japanese heritage. I know that the first year when we did everything online, and we did a filming of the sushi chef and the at Sakura, but the staff wasn't Japanese, the sushi staff. Well, the sushi master himself didn't even speak English. It was the owner who mostly spoke English. Um, but I don't know, and maybe the AAPI club at the high school can help us with this
Yeah.
identifying, or the PTO. We can reach out to PTO and say, we're looking to represent Asian cultures that perhaps have not been featured before, and um, and we can even ask for certain, nationalities if we or heritages, whichever is the most PC way of putting it. Um, but do you like that idea? Because I'm excited about this idea. It's something we've never done, and it will achieve both all purposes and not be as burdensome as one big live event might be.
Sure.
Yeah,
Where's
I
the
agree, Sherry.
Okay, let's have hands raised because we have a lot, everyone has an opinion here. Okay, who's first? Okay, Cheyenne.
Oh, no, I like the series of event better. And I agree with you, rather than maybe this year we'll forego the big one day event, just, for various reasons. So I think we should do that. And also, I think with your email with the PTO, asking for heritage is always a good way, I think a more accommodating way. Because, for some people who grew up here, or were born here, maybe they'll identify a certain way. So I think the heritage is a good way to kind of
Mm-hmm.
target those audience. And also on the email, instead of just saying Asian, perhaps we should, like we did in previous years, spell out the countries as well, because
Right,
Asian is usually synonymous with just like ones that look like me.
right.
So I think that it'd be more encompassing to be more explicit what it means.
And of course, I'm going to bring out those big maps every single showing, because I think it's really important that people have a visual that teaches them that you're right, that the most familiar faces are faces from Southeast Asia. And I think a lot of people don't even think it's not in their consciousness that someone from like India or Pakistan or Lebanon is actually Asian. And of
There's a lot
course,
of Lebanon movies too, I think, too. Like if you look at there's a lot of different cultures that are out there. So
right. Armenia, Turkey. I mean, there's just so many different possibilities. The one thing, though, that we're going to have to be sensitive of is when we choose films, we need to choose things that are not going to be too politically, I don't know what the word would be, but we don't want to take sides. So we don't want to have anything that, like for instance, we wouldn't show a film that was from the Armenian point of view, how about the supposed Turkish genocide. If we did that, attacking the Turkish community, that would
yeah.
be inappropriate. But something that shows the beauty of different cultures and their traditions. And I know the last time we were talking, and one of the things that's the most fun, I was telling Jill the other night, when I lived in Asia, there were two kinds of movies available most of the time, very few American movies. There was Bollywood extravaganzas, and I know they were like 3 hour movies, or there was Kung Fu movies. And that's what we went to see. And I love them. I love the Bollywood ones, especially. And they're all the same. It's boy meets girl. There's something blocking their being able to be together. It's probably a class difference or something like that. And in the end, everyone gets married and dances and sings. It's always, and although it paints a particular picture that might be, a little rosy, it also shows the clothing, the food, the marriage customs, the different things that are part of a particular culture. So I think, if we can find some, of course, some of the movies are going to be more serious, but movies that sort of celebrate, like, for instance, I don't think I would show Parasite. I think that is a little bit too depressing. Um, I don't know if any of you have seen that movie. Juan, you're shaking your head, so I think you did
Well,
see it.
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it, and it's a very difficult movie to watch, and it paints a particular. I don't think you learn much about Korean culture overall, but what you learn is about a certain subset of the population and what they're suffering. So it's somewhat political movie. It's excellent if you get to see it, but it is very disturbing in a lot of ways. Um, okay, so next steps.
Sure, I just want to say that the Galvin has an anime club, and they've been doing
Oh,
movies every Friday with the kids, and they do a bunch of like some artistic expressions or something. But my daughter's there every Friday,
You
so
said it's the Dolbear?
no,
Galvin.
Galvin.
Galvin. Oh, wow. Okay. Would you make the contact with them and say we'd love to show an anime film or a couple of films if they're short?
Sure.
Do you have okay, you're in charge of that one. There we go. We got one assignment there. Okay. Um, Huang, do you know because we really, except for you and we're in costume, we really haven't featured Korea.
Okay.
I don't know if you can think of any in your, I mean, I know a lot of the movies are going to be subtitles. That's the other thing we have to be mindful of. Some might be dubbed.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to get back in touch with right now, we're just doing fishing expeditions, which things we might be able to do.
Yeah.
I think that it wouldn't,
I was thinking one of like the Korean like the contest shows that they have. So, um, not
uh,
anything that is like, political, but it's just more contests. So you can see like their strengths and like some of the so not the Squid Game one. That's just like too like bloody,
more
but like
K-pop,
but there
more
are some
K-pop-ish,
yeah,
right?
there are some like there are either like the behind the scenes for like Blackpink or BTS or like there
Yeah.
could be so that's like a thing. And then there's also a whole bunch of like different um like contexts like Physical 100. There's like different things that are out there I think right now.
Well, not only that, but I don't know if you know, but the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston is having a big Korean exhibit
Mm.
featuring arts and culture and music from Korea. Um, and I'm a member and I am really looking forward to seeing it. It's very different. I mean, years ago that everything was so traditional. It was all white European men's paintings. And now they have branched out and they're embracing other cultures, which is great. Um, and that might be actually through the Museum of Fine Arts might be a source of finding out a recommendation for a film because their docents know all of the ins and outs of a particular. I can find out who is in charge of that one
Okay.
and see if um, they could recommend something to us. But again, we want to. How many do you think we should do? 5
I was thinking 4 because there's 4 weeks. Is there in the month?
in May? One, two, three, four. Actually, there's 5.
Thursdays? Let's see. Oh, because
Well,
it's a longer month. Yep, there's
yeah,
five
yeah.
Thursdays.
I'm going to be gone one of the. So this, I'm going to be gone the first week of the month is a Thursday. There's no Monday. The next week there's a Monday, Thursday,
I think we could
Monday.
alternate, we could
Yeah,
alternate like
yeah,
Monday, Thursday, Monday,
right.
Thursday.
And of course,
Um,
Is
and
that going to confuse people, Jill?
I
Like,
don't think so because we'll give them specific dates and they'll get particular, you know,
it
if
might confuse, but also I think, for folks who like have sports things on Thursday nights and can't ever make those, then they might be able to make some Monday ones.
and even if
Um,
they don't end up coming to this, what it will do is make them aware of this kind of film, and maybe on their own they'll try to view it.
Yeah.
They were interested and couldn't come. So let's see. I'm writing myself little notes, which is why I'm not looking at the camera because
the other sort of con though to switching the dates is, so if the first one is on a Thursday, the second one is 4 or 5 days later on a Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you've got a big gap, a week and a half.
Oh, no, you don't, because then, that would be 2 in a week. That's true. Well, the other option is for 3 weeks, we can do one on Monday, one on Thursday, do 6 that way. If we can figure out enough, I think we could figure out enough. If we did, like 3 Monday nights, like the 9th, the 13th, the 20th, and then 3 Thursday nights or 2 Thursday nights. Oh, that's not the 9th. It's, oh God, put your glasses on. My eyes are terrible. Okay. I'm just looking at the calendar, and we could conceivably do 2 in a week, a Monday, Thursday. Maybe one would be more the adult and the other one would be more geared towards family, like children.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be an earlier, well, they're all going to be early. They're all going to start at, would you say 7 o'clock at night?
Even kids, I'd say, might start at 6:30.
6:30.
Because like they have to go to sleep pretty early.
Yeah.
The only thing is like it's
unless we want to do a kids one that's on a
school
Saturday.
night.
If we work with the anime club, maybe we can do a Saturday.
If we had one kids Saturday and the rest were for adults, I think that would be fine. It will be hard for kids to do. You push it earlier to 6 and then you're like getting involved in dinner time and everything like that. But if you make it later, that's bedtime. I think it's hard for kids during the week.
And I do know that the AmeriCol is available both the 18th and the 25th on Saturday. Both dates. And the 25th is Memorial Day weekend. So if we did it on the 18th, that might be, more people might be around for it.
And Sherry, do we all need to be there on those days that we have viewings?
Absolutely not. Only the one. In fact, if you had one on Thursday the 2nd, I would be in Minneapolis. At my stepson's wedding party weekend. I personally feel like I should go to everything if I can get there, if I'm in town. But no, you're not obligated to, unless you are involved with the actual logistics of the evening. No, but I appreciate you helping me get it set up so that the logistics of the evening run smoothly.
Yeah, because I've gone 3 weeks out of April, that's why.
Yeah. Well, this is all May.
Oh, 2 weeks out of May.
Okay. Well, we could do it just the 2 middle weeks of the month of May. So how many do you, okay, you seem to have questions about how many we should try to do. It depends on what we can pull together. I mean, I think that the more individual heritages we can expose people to, the better, if we can find things.
Or you can do like a series of 1 week and every night there's something there, right?
No. That would,
or
you're
like
gonna get people out for that. They'll come out for 1 night, but I doubt they would come out for 4 or 5 nights. That's a little bit much.
I think 4 is a good number.
I think 4 is too.
Yeah, I
4 is
think
a good number. Good. Okay, so 4 adult movies, 1 kid Saturday. How's that sound?
Yep.
Okay.
This is what we can get to.
And we're gonna try to do the anime for the kids movie, right?
Yes, for the 18th. Because I know that room is available, and that's a really good space for kids to be sitting in. Because it's contained. And it's right in town, which might be a little bit easier for some folks.
Where's
I think we have to offer popcorn though.
Oh, definitely. We definitely will offer popcorn.
Where's the WC? What was it called?
It's right behind the high school.
It's right behind the high school. Okay.
Yeah. If you go in the back entrance, the field house entrance, The studio is right there. But I have to check
Ah.
with Ian if he can do this kind of thing. But like I said, they have a bigger screen. They have a big screen. Um, whereas otherwise we'll have to show them on a TV set. Like the library is great. You know, it's a wonderful place to show things. Actually,
I thought they did
oh
a
no,
projector though. I thought they had a projector that, you'd bring in down the white screen and be able to show it.
I'm not sure if the projector will work though with DVDs and the streaming. That's something we can check as well.
Yeah. They
Jill,
usually
can I
cast
ask you
it.
to do
Great
that?
idea.
Check with the library about if we were going to be showing a film, is it possible that it could be shown on a screen rather than the TV? You know, with the questions we have right here. If you could just check with the library. Okay, so Jill has that, Cheyenne has that.
Will they have context? Do they know? Have you talked to them at all about what we're
Just
planning here?
no, I haven't spoken to anyone yet. The
Okay.
person who you really want to talk to at the library is either talk to Karen Stern, who's at the desk, and she's right at the reference desk, not at the checkout desk. She's the head reference librarian. Or you talk to Jackie Powers, who is the associate director of the library. She is more likely to be available than Catherine, the director of the library. So I would say you can start with talking to Karen, who I see 3 times a week, but not this week because I'm packing. So if you would try starting out by, well, wait a second, you work during the day, so you can't get into the library during the day anyway, right?
No, but I can email Jackie Powers, or I'm sure I can
Yeah,
email
Jackie,
Karen.
and tell her what we're thinking of and saying, we're thinking of having a little film festival for the APAH Heritage Month, and we're wondering about the options for showing films at the library, whether there's projection or whatever. That would be good to find out. I'm going to definitely check with Ian because it would be terrific if we could do, um, like I said, simulcast of some of the movies and say this is if so we're going to aim for 4 adult movies, at least one kid Saturday. We're going to serve popcorn. At each of these events, we're going to have some sort of exhibit about that teaches people about the heritage of the particular country that the film is focusing on. And we are also, I just had a thought that went right out of my head.
We need a
Well,
couple more film topics or countries, right? That we need to
yeah, like I
research.
said, we have not, what's easy because their film industries are so developed are countries like India, countries like, you know, Taiwan, China. They have such well-developed film industries. I imagine you said Korea does as well. I'm only familiar with that one movie because it was Oscar nominated, um, and very controversial at that. Um, so maybe Huang, you can just start asking around friends and family about different ideas. You said there's some lighter ways you can handle it too, like contest shows or whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna just do a correction because I noticed that you keep calling me Juan. It's Hun.
Hun,
Hun.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Oh, and I should know
It's
that
because
from
of the
our,
Y. Everyone wants to put the Y inflection
it's
in there.
no
So
why. Okay. I'm
so
writing
just
it down
Hun.
so that I do not forget.
But there's a lot of like
Like a term
very,
term of endearment, hun.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I'll remember it that way. Um,
the Chinese film was very visually stunning, so that's always a good thing. There's also like I think there's also a lot of food ones too. If we're interested in having any of the food, like Street Food Asia, they've got a lot of stuff there too. Have you
but
guys
is it
watched the
like,
Street Food Asia? It's pretty cool.
is it movies?
Street Food Asia, it's on Netflix and it's a series and they feature like a a restaurant specifically, but they also talk about all the surrounding areas. It's very educational. Um and so it's not they focus on one restaurant, but at the same time they explore around and talk about like the different other foods that are surrounding it and also like some
Hmm.
of the prop the pros and the cons of the environment that that restaurant is in.
The problem is that's a paid streaming service.
Yeah, but we can look at other ones like that. Like we can look for other services, other films that may have similar content.
And are you familiar with the library's two streaming services, Canopy and Libby?
Libby, yes, I'm familiar with
Okay.
Libby, but I
You
haven't
might,
looked for any movies on Libby, so we can
yeah,
look at those to see what they have.
that would be, I think Libby is probably a good source. It's less likely that there's going to be, except if they're newer popular movies, less likely they'll be on the shelf. But the other thing is the librarians love a challenge like this. If we say to them, can you find us a movie for such and such?
Yeah.
They probably will come. I'm sure they'll
They
come.
probably have a lot of suggestions, I'm
Well,
sure.
it's not only that, but when we did all of the online work during COVID, we actually did feature during the month list of movies.
Oh.
So they're available through Google as well. I mean, it's pretty easy to find things through Google. The problem is we may not be familiar with the movie to decide if it's really a good one to show. So that's where we'll depend on people who know a little bit more about those particular movies.
You want me to add that to the email that I send? If they have any suggestions for movies?
Well, first of all, I think we need to tell them what heritages we're looking for.
I wonder about that. I mean, I wonder if it's easier to choose the movies and then build around that.
Okay.
But I also I don't know a lot of movies, so maybe it would be fine to choose the heritage and then choose movies around that.
Well, if we want to identify a specific, like I said, if we look at the map of Asia, and the fact of the matter is, for this particular kind of thing, we will. Did someone else come in the meeting?
You lost someone.
No, we lost Jeff. He had to
Jeff,
log out.
he left and came back.
Okay, there he is. Okay. We're trying to figure out which comes first, the horse or the cart in this particular case. Do we first say, well, these are the nationalities, these are the heritages we want represented? Or do we first say, let's look for some really good movies, and then we'll find people to help us represent those heritages with exhibits and talking? And who was it who said they had a friend who was a film? I'm looking back at my notes. Winnie, you said that you had a friend who was very knowledgeable about Asian American films.
Yeah, but I only just wrote her today. So let me see if she gets back to me.
Well, maybe she can recommend a few films.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Winnie, why don't you?
Well, you have to tell me are we doing films and she can recommend, or are we going to say a culture and then I can ask her from whatever, Lebanon, whatever we decide, do you have any recommend? You know what I'm saying? How are we going to do that? You give me something like that, I can write her. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Why don't you ask her if she is familiar? I know I've seen some films that take place in Lebanon and Jordan that there's one film called A Separation about a married couple that was, I don't know how much of the culture it reveals. I can't remember. It's been a while, but I remember it was excellent. It was a drama. And I think it was even up for an International Academy Award. It's a contemporary story. So if you could ask your friend acquaintance, if she knows of films from the countries of Western Asia, and that would include, like I said, Jordan, Lebanon, Armenia, Turkey, those countries, look at the map. That would be really helpful because that is going to probably be the most challenging because those are the movies we tend to see less of. I mean, we see a lot of things like, not Bruce Lee, but what is the Flying Tiger, Flashing Dragons, whatever that was.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, Crouching. Yeah, that was like so much fun. But how much does that tell us about a particular culture?
Well, it gives you a lot of some of the history, like the the outfits, the scenery, the just the interplay, the political components of it. There is quite a bit that's
Well,
going
maybe
on.
that's one of those movies that we'll definitely want to show.
So,
Because I think, there's people who may have seen it years ago, like myself, will say, wow, yeah, that's a great one. Be fun to see that again. And yeah, I mean, like I said, there's certain film industries that are so developed that, in fact, I'm going to ask that, oh God, what's his name? Halak, about movies, Indian movies that, aren't so schlocky type of Bollywood, but really quality things that really tell people about a culture. That might be more interesting. I mean,
they have the matchmaker one, the Indian matchmaker one. Did
oh,
you
I
see that
know,
one?
I know, they're fun. They're really fun. And and I know it wasn't an Indian made movie, but well, actually, it was India, the Marigold Hotel movies. But it's basically
It's a little
about
different. Yeah,
Brits
that's
trying to adapt to the culture of India. They're expats, and we'd rather have the actors be of the nationality than featuring stories about Brits who falling in love and when they're senior citizens, because that's basically what it was about. Um,
So I got to thinking about what you guys proposed about the question of whether we find the people in the movie first. I mean, I think if we want people to be around to talk about the movie, then I think we need the people first. Because then if you find the movie, but then you have nobody to talk about it, right? Are we going to proceed or not? And that's the question.
or about the culture. I think what we probably have to do is come up with more than we need and then whittle it down according to what we can really um, fully develop as a program. So perhaps we need to start by looking at 10 different options, different movies, 8, 10 different ones, and then whittling it down to the 4 plus the anime. Because that one is already, I think, perfect for a Saturday with kids.
Yeah, but the other one though, what if you can't find the people in the other one? If you narrow it down to 4, if you're spending all that time whittling down, but then you have no people.
Oh no, what I'm saying is we'll have those, and then we would go about looking for the right people, and we can do that by calling upon again. Like, so you're saying I should ask the PTO people first, or the kids in the not kids, the young people that are in the AAPI club before we even. I don't
Well,
know
I
how
think,
many different countries are
yeah,
represented in the AAPI club. I have a feeling um, it isn't as broad a group in terms of nationalities.
right. But I think if you're going to send out if you want the spokesperson for some of these movies, then I just think it's important to have the people first.
Mhm.
Um, because then they can speak to and they can have recommendations as well. Versus us, we're not knowledgeable, but then we're I'm not saying that our work is going to be futile, but it's just creating extra work versus they're the experts. They may have more of a faster input than us.
That
As
makes
you know,
sense.
there's just so many movies out there. It's just the time invested for research is going to be greater that way.
Mhm.
Okay, well, all of you know I'm leaving at 5 o'clock at night on Thursday. Before I leave, I will send an email to the PTOs and the elementary school and the principals, and indicate what we're planning and hoping to do, and looking for assistance from the students and their parents who would be interested in assisting us in um, talking about their heritage as part of our film festival, and see what happens. Okay, I'll do that. Um, some of the technical stuff we're already checking out, whether the library can do it, whether um, WCAT can do it. I know that we can do it at the Heritage Room at the AmeriCol. That's not a problem. The gym is what's a problem. The gym is like filled with basketball and pickleball players all the time. So the gym is more taken up. So I will do that before I leave. And if you would all just like I said, keep your thinking caps on, talk to people you know who might be knowledgeable, see what kind of ideas you can bring back. So the next time we meet, we can say, okay, this is what we really would like. We have a framework, which I think is excellent. That we'll have alternating Monday, Thursdays, one Saturday for kids, 4 adults, one family, children's kind of movie day, and that we're going to try to represent, like I said, 5 different cultures and heritages in the process of showing these particular movies. And we're going to try to make sure that the movies aren't too so politically controversial that it will cause any kind of problems, like we're taking sides or anything like that. We want movies that reveal culture and, really educate people and make them sensitive to the differences that because we're all different, all our differences. So the next thing I'm going to ask you, because I got to get back to some, believe it or not, trip planning. It's pretty frantic. I'm returning on April 9th. And I was wondering if you wanted me to schedule a meeting for April 11th, which is a Thursday. Because I have to do it before I leave. Otherwise, I won't be able to give her 72 hours notice.
I wouldn't be able to attend on the 11th.
Okay. But we can fill you in. Oh, you can tell us what you've learned and I will report it. Okay. We can do that.
Yeah, I won't be around the 11th as well.
Okay. Well, if that's okay. If the 11th doesn't work, you guys won't do Fridays, right? Friday, early evenings.
You can do Friday.
The 12th, Friday early evening?
I am available the 10th. I'm not available pretty much.
I'm in a council and aging meeting on the 10th, and I'm the secretary, so I have to be there.
You guys can do it.
That is assuming, because it didn't happen when I was coming back from my trip in the fall, that I actually get back on the 9th. Because we did not get back on the 9th. We were supposed to get back in the fall because our plane had to turn around and go back to Santiago Airport because it nearly crashed.
Good thing you went back.
Yeah, I mean,
I have a question.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure we got this the event and setting my expectation for myself.
Okay.
Is so we're for the event for the APA for this year, we're just doing the movie
with exhibits.
Okay.
Cultural exhibits at the night of the movie, and if possible, simulcasting it so people who, especially people who are older who may not come out at night, will still be able to enjoy the movies.
Yeah. Okay. No, that sounds good. Jeff and I came up. Well, I won't steal Jeff's thunder. We came up with a great idea, but I don't think we have to execute on that. So I probably shouldn't have said anything, but I want to give Jeff credit for his creativity of thinking. So,
okay.
Jeff, can I put you on a spot, or you want me to speak?
I think you already put me on the spot, but
Aha!
Okay, Jeff, it's your turn to talk. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah,
well, he's
sure.
got a lot of creative ideas, actually.
Okay.
No, not really. So yeah, so my thought was, I think having a series of movies is great. I think that definitely takes the load off a single event, planning for one big event. And yeah, I think I'll be able to go in depth a little more, be a little more educational, as you were talking about, Sherry, in our previous meeting. One thing I was thinking about though is maybe we kick off May with a like a event, and this is Cheyenne, me kind of thinking from our lion dance group, thinking caps, where the lion dance troupe can go to the different Asian vendors, particularly the Boa shop, which is new in town, and then Sakura and a couple other shops, and it'd be kind of like a Lunar New Year where the lions go around to the various stores and do a dance to bring in good luck and good fortune for those companies or for those businesses. And then we could publicize the movie series at the same time. Be a kickoff event for the month.
That sounds wonderful. Can the lion dancers do that? Would they be willing to go around town?
I think so. I think we think Cheyenne. I mean, if it was like just an hour or so, just in town, going to the various businesses. I think we could do that.
That sounds fabulous. Um, I will have to ask permission for them to be marching around town. I have to ask if we're allowed to do that. I don't see
Yeah.
why not, but I
So
can check on that.
I can tell you a couple updates. So from my research today, I read the town of Wakefield bylaws. There's nothing to state that we can't do it because we're not soliciting. I did call the police department and they said there's no law that we can't do that. So we're
Oh,
good to go. And then I contact, and so they, however, the police department did say, you know, for that, things like that, we can contact the town administrator, in this case, I guess, Steve Mail's department, and just make sure they were okay with that if they have any questions. But and I reached out to a few businesses as well. There, none of the managers were there the time that I called, so they said to call back tomorrow. But basically that's it. And the dance is basically just a few minutes. It's not more than 5 minutes at all. It's
right.
just on the outside, you know, and if the businesses want us to go inside, you know, we can do that too. But this is a very common practice that is in a lot of festivities or when businesses open up, you know, that it's kind of just a grand opening to kick off, you know, either an event or ceremony or, you know, a special festival, things like that.
And you obviously have already done some homework on this. You're thinking of going to the boba tea, Sakura, to the Thai restaurant that's across from the police station.
I've
Where
gone
else were you?
already, yes.
I don't remember the name of that place. We
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah,
Phuket
that
and then
Charm. It's called
Charm,
Charm,
right?
I guess, Thai place.
There's
Yep.
Charm and then there's Phuket too on the side. And then there's
Phuket, that's
Yeah.
it. Right.
Yeah, so we're limited geography because you know we have to kind of push all the stuff and bring all the props with us as we're going from one business to another business on
Right.
that
so you're just
day.
staying on
And
Main Street.
yeah, so we're limited in terms of geography a little bit in terms of how far we can go.
So
Like I love to go to Say
Phuket is just
Bar.
like off of Main, it's on Main Street, just like one building down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
So
like similar location as Boba Tea.
yeah. So
Yes.
and Phuket is just around the corner, and there's actually lots of room there where they can dance.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just very tiring because it, you know, the dance itself is very tiring. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
all on the
Yeah.
young kids to, you know, and us to kind of move all that stuff around. So you guys should come out if we do decide to do that one and, you know, if you want and take a look at it, if you want.
And take pictures and
So,
post, right?
We do
I
need
mean,
photographers.
this could turn into somewhat of a public parade. That's the only, and the police said that was okay because people will be following around the lion dancers. The police said
Yep.
that's okay.
Yep.
Okay, then I will just have to check it with Steve Mayo.
Yeah. And
And
the businesses are okay. I mean, like I said, they, you know, if they're okay with it, that's really the only thing that the bylaw said is that as long as the business approve of it, we're not selling anything, you know, it's a charitable event. You know, there is a component of the red envelope and, you know, I mean, depending on the business, they can do like the lattice thing that we did, but one of us can walk around with a broom and just sweep it up right away after the event, you know?
and we will have to, in this case, we'll have to have a date and a rain date,
Yeah, I'm not
just
too
in case.
worried, but
Okay, and we also will have to settle on, I'm going to miss it because it's probably going to be the first week in May when I'm in Minneapolis. So
yeah, we were thinking it's gotta be on a Saturday, maybe like the 4th to kind of
yeah,
kick it off.
yeah. Yeah, I won't be back until the 6th, but that's okay because I've seen the line. I think that's wonderful. And people will take pictures. So we'll have lots. I'm usually the one who's taking pictures with my husband, but we'll make sure there's pictures taken. Um, I think this would be a marvelous way to kick off APAH month. It's very celebratory. Everyone loved it last year. It's exciting. It's colorful. And Jeff, yes, you are very creative. Great idea. That's a wonderful idea. So So now we have it. We have the first week of the month, the weekend we'll have a kickoff. The second and third weeks of the month, we will second, third, and fourth. Actually, there's 5 weeks. So second, third, and fourth weeks of the month, we'll have movies with educational components of some sort. And
So I'm just looking at the dates on the calendar. So on May 4th, if we're doing the Lion opening, then the first movie night would be on Thursday, May 9th, followed
yep,
by alternating the 13th of May. Then the 18th would be
the
the kids, and then we would probably not do that following Monday, but maybe the 23rd for that Thursday.
Yes. So, okay, so we have movies.
The 6th,
We
the
have to have,
9th,
we were
the
gonna do, we were gonna
13th,
do 4 adult movies. So the 9th,
the
13th,
13th, 23rd, and then maybe the 20th. Well, that's a Memorial Day, so the 30th.
yeah, you won't want to do that. How about we could, well, let's see, 9th, 13th, 23rd. Well, maybe it'll be 3, and then
Maybe
with the
it'll be 3.
kids,
Yeah.
we'll just
9,
it,
13, 23.
and if we can, if we manage it, we could have something after Memorial Day in that final week in May. We could add on another one if we find something that we want to do. Because people are not gone all week. They just go on the weekend if they go away. So that conceivably could be the following Thursday, like the 30th, as the final event of the month. So 9th.
Terry, I just sent you a link to last year's Boston Asian American Film Festival schedule, which lists all their films they did last year, which might help us to look at some films and see what did they show last year and find maybe some of the cultures we were hoping to see. So I just thought
And
it might help
what
us.
I will do, you're sending it to me. I
I
will
sent
send
it to I sent it to everyone.
You did? Okay, good. Because I was about to say, can we send it to everyone? That will give us ideas.
Although maybe I didn't give it to, sorry, Jill. I didn't know her
Okay.
email, but
I will forward it to Jill.
it's this one.
I mean, it's
There's
amazing
a
what
lot
you,
of interesting ones. I'm like, what's this one? I mean, yeah, there's some interesting ones.
okay, lots of food for thought.
Yeah, just to see if we find anything that in the culture that we were hoping.
Yeah. And we are again going to meet on Friday, the 12th at 7 p.m.
Wait, aren't we? Like, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I
I
guess.
don't think
Because
we've
no one,
decided on it. We didn't know if
people had
anyone
a
else was
problem with
available.
Thursday. So I thought maybe Friday.
I think Cheyenne's not available either day, Sherry. So
Because we need to do a check-in to see what kind of progress and if I've gotten
It's okay.
responses from
Jeff can
parents.
be my representative. He can be both of us.
Friday works for me. I can be there.
Okay. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll schedule the Zoom for 7 p.m. On the 12th of April, and we will move forward.
does
I won't be there then, but
yeah.
that's also okay. I
Oh, you
can,
can't, the 11th or the 12th, Jim?
correct, yeah. The
Oh,
11th is my son's birthday and the 12th is my husband's, so.
okay. In that case, then, since you can't be there either day, do you all prefer the 11th more than the 12th?
I can't do the 11th, so 12th is preferable for me.
Okay. Cheyenne, Winnie? Friday the
Cheyenne's not
12th
available
early?
either day, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think I gotta check my schedule. Have I left yet? I know I'm going. That's just before the
April vacation week.
yeah, so I should be still around. I don't think I've left yet.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Okay.
I just
Hun, are you
remembered
available on the 12th?
there's I think it's the following weekend. Let's see. Ed, when are we going to the college? Is it the 12th or the 19th? The 13th? The
Yeah.
first Saturday?
Mm.
Oh, so I actually am not available on that Friday because we're going to be going to New York. I forgot about the spring break.
Ah, we need to have gee, maybe we have to push it up to the 15th,
The
a Monday
15th,
night.
Oh,
Oh no, that's school
that's
vacation
tax
week. You said
day.
you're going to be away, right?
yeah.
Well, you know what? I will show of hands. How many people are available? Just Tony, raise your hands on the 11th. It's Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably be in for a little bit.
Okay. How many people are available on the 12th? Okay, so it's got to be the 11th. It seems like more people are available on the 11th, Thursday night.
Jill and Sharon, are you available on the 15th?
Well, I'm going to be seeing The 15th is the following Monday.
Do you want to do a show of hands on the 15th?
Well, I thought people were going to be away.
Nope, I guess.
I'm actually going to be in Asia. That's why, depending on the time.
Oh, wonderful.
So the
That's a big
11th
trip.
sounds like it's the best one.
Yeah, let's do it on the 11th, and then we'll probably have one the following, if we have to, everything's going to have to being just sending, we're not supposed to, but emails back and forth that as long as we're not deliberating, you're just reporting, we can report to each other just progress on email. Okay, so I'll set something up for the 11th and a few other things, and I have to write up some notes from these last two meetings, and I'm going to call this meeting to an end. I'm going to motion it we're going to adjourn because it's already almost 8 o'clock, 7:57 p.m. And I hope everyone has a wonderful next week and a half, 2 weeks. I know I'm going to. And I'll see you soon. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you found out by the time we speak again. Thank you all
Sounds
so
good.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, good night.